welcome to this ICANN Media podcast. I'm your host, Rob Hislop. We are coming to you from the Global Petroleum Show in Calgary. And joining us right now is Ron Lutz with Signum. And Ron, perhaps you can give us a little bit of insight into your company, a bit of a background.
Our company's been in the reclamation industry for about 20 years. And we've basically been cleaning up the oil, gas sites, refineries, things like that. And we've brought in a new technology from Finland this year to try and clean up a sour gas plant. Typically in the past, the cleaning up sites, we use dig and dump technology where we dig it up and haul it to a landfill. This technology uses electrokinetic oxidation, which is an in situ remediation technology so that we don't have to dig up the soil and haul it to a landfill. Essentially, we're leaving the site as is.
So let's look at this site right here on your monitor. I can see it right now. Tell us what we're looking at.
Okay, this is the sour gas plant that we are right now cleaning up. And as you can see, it's been decommissioned, except that the fact is there's a lot of condensate contamination underneath that soil. So we are cleaning it up. And at the end of the process, we will remove the rods and the cables, and then we will put the topsoil back so the farmer can have his site back.
So how does the rod system work then? I think it's showing up behind us here.
Yes, the way the rod system works is it essentially has an electrokinetic oxidation process where it sends a small electric current between the rods. Here you can see the rods coming out of the ground, but we put the rods into a grid system, a 5 by 5 meter grid system, and we have a 16 volt charge across these rods. The rods send out a small electrical impulse between them, and it breaks the carbon-carbon bonds, and it typically oxidizes the hydrocarbons into carbon dioxide and water, which is what is left at the end of the day.
So how long does this process take?
It takes approximately 3 to 4 months.
Okay, so it's not necessarily, I guess it is still faster than doing it the other way as well, isn't it? Faster and cheaper?
It's cheaper.
Okay.
It's probably close to the same time. You can do a dig and dump very quickly. The trouble with dig and dumps is you have to haul the soil to a landfill and then haul clean soil back, and that gets very costly. This system's much cheaper.
So it's the Finns that came up with this then?
Yes, it's developed in Finland. This is the first site that we are using it on in Canada. This is the very first site it's being used on.
Okay. So when you look at this sort of technology and you think about how things have been done in the past, you must, obviously you're selling it, so you must be pretty impressed with it.
Yes, I am, because it's a lot better than the way we used to do things.
And the way a city person like myself can relate to it, obviously, is if you've got a gas station that's been decommissioned, often those sites sit for years before anything happens with them. Your system would help alleviate something like that as well, or could?
It could, because then you don't have to dig big holes in the middle of a block and disturb the residents in the area. You can clean it in situ.
So what seems to be the, response from the oil industry on this, or is it still a little bit new for you to approach them with it?
We have approached them with it, but they're waiting to see how well it works on this site. Because it is the very first site in Canada, everyone's waiting to see how quickly it works and does it work the way we say it will.
So I'm curious, when you look at something like this, obviously I can see where oil companies would be interested in it. Environmentalists and groups along those lines would be interested, obviously, in knowing how the technology works and what can be done. Do you talk to those sorts of groups with something like this as well?
I will be at REMTech, which is the conference in Banff in October, because we really don't have the case study finished yet. Once we have this case study finished, then I will be presenting it at environmental conferences so that the other environment companies will understand that the technology is available so that they can look at it when they're approving sites or doing estimates on cost cleanups for other sites.
And reclamation, of course, is a key word in the industry right now because the oil companies want to prove that they can return the land back to its normal state.
That's correct.
And that is something that you believe this technology will be able to do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much.